Spanning more than 3 million square miles, the Amazon rainforest is a vast and untamed expanse, standing as Earth's ultimate hub of biodiversity. It's home to over 3 million animal species and more than 3,000 plant species. Despite our technological advancements, we've barely scratched the surface of understanding this remarkable forest. If you're ready to uncover its hidden secrets, join us as we explore 20 terrifying new discoveries from the depths of the Amazon rainforest. Number 20. Pyara, the water wolf. Beneath the surface of the Amazon River basin exists a world filled with fascinating, although somewhat intimidating, aquatic inhabitants. These creatures vary from the unsightly yet harmless to the notorious, like the pyara. The pyara, also known as the saber-toothed tigerfish and the water wolf, is undoubtedly one of the most intriguing fish you will come across in these waters. Its mystique is partly due to the limited research conducted on this species, but its appearance is what truly sets it apart. The first thing that grabs your attention is its teeth. It has sharp, spiky daggers lining its gums, accompanied by 2 elongated fangs protruding from the lower jaw and measuring 4 to 6 inches in length. These fangs are so huge that pyaras are born with specially designed holes in their upper jaws to accommodate them. In terms of appetite, the pyara doesn't shy away from challenging meals. It's not unheard of for them to devour piranhas as part of their daily diet. These fish thrive in clear, fast-flowing waters teeming with currents, often found in turbulent rivers and at the base of cascading waterfalls. What sets them apart as hunters is their tactic. Pyaras are skilled at darting into schools of fish, creating chaos among their prey, and using their fangs as versatile tools. These teeth function as spears capable of stabbing, grabbing, and holding their prey. While some victims are swallowed whole, others meet a more gruesome fate, torn apart by the pyara's dagger-like teeth. Number 19. Tyrant King leeches. You may have heard of leeches before, but the Tyrant King leech is something else entirely. Don't let the name fool you. This little critter is usually less than 5 centimeters long. However, its teeth are anything but small. The T-Rex leech sports 8 sharp fangs, each a whopping 130 microns high. To the human eye, that might sound tiny, and it is. Each tooth is as thin as a human hair, but that's 5 times larger than your average leech's teeth. In other words, these tiny terrors have quite a ferocious bite. What sets the T-Rex leech apart from the rest is its unsettling habit of crawling inside its victims. The T-Rex leech uses those formidable teeth to saw into the tissues of mammals' orifices, which can include eyes, urethras, and rectums. Yes, it's as creepy as it sounds. The first known encounter with this unsettling creature happened when a specimen was removed from a girl's nose in Peru's central Chanchamayo province in 2007. The girl frequently bathed in lakes, rivers, and streams in the Amazonian region of Peru and felt a strange sliding sensation in the back of her nose. Surprisingly, as eerie as it may be, the T-Rex leech could have a role in the future of medicine. Researchers at the American Museum of Natural History in New York City are studying this critter with hopes of developing drugs to prevent blood clotting. Number 18. The underground river. We're all familiar with the mighty Amazon River, a natural wonder that stands as one of the world's largest rivers. But did you know that as recently as 2011, another river was discovered right within the heart of the Amazon? It might sound surprising considering the vastness of the Amazon rainforest and its thick canopy that conceals much of its secrets. You might think this newly uncovered river would be a tiny stream, right? Well, the Hamza, as it has come to be known, is no small river. In fact, it stretches to a length comparable to the Amazon itself, measuring 6,000 kilometers. What's more, it ranges in width from approximately 200 to 400 kilometers, which is even wider than the Amazon River's mouth. Despite being wider than the Amazon River, the Hamza isn't a river in the traditional sense. It's more like a very wide trickle of water compared to the rushing waters of the Amazon. So why haven't we heard of the Hamza River before? That's because it's located about 4 kilometers underground. Scientists were able to discover it using old oil wells and computer simulations. Number 17. Vampire wasp. Now and then, the Amazon rainforest continues to reveal its secrets, and one of its recent discoveries is the vampire wasp. This newfound species has sparked a lot of attention, and for good reason. It's the stuff of nightmares. Vampire wasps have an unsettling ability to sting, suck blood, and even consume their prey from the inside out. These creatures don't just deliver a painful sting like your typical wasp. Instead, they go a step further by penetrating the skin and living and developing within the body of their host. They accomplish this by depositing their larvae under the skin of their victims using a special organ called an ovipositor. Once the egg is in place, it starts to grow, and within a few days it hatches. This is where the truly eerie part begins. The newly born offspring continue to live and grow inside the host's skin while feeding on the host's body from the inside. They only emerge when they've fully developed into adult wasps. It's a genuinely terrifying process. Thankfully, humans aren't typically high on the list of these creatures' preferred hosts. They generally go after caterpillars, beetles, and spiders. However, if you happen to wander through the Amazon jungle, it's a good idea to keep your eyes open and steer clear of this strange and unsettling species at all costs. Number 16. The Alien. Have you ever watched the movie Shudder? It's about a couple who get haunted by a ghost that keeps showing up in their photos. Well, something similar happened in 2011 in Brazil's Mamu region. During a trip, 2 British tourists took some pictures, and in one of those shots, something extraordinary was captured. While the camera is focused on some young children, seen in the distance behind them is a silvery light. Not too far from that light is something that looks like an extraterrestrial being lurking in the background. The person who noticed the strange figure was Michael Cohen, a well-known writer fascinated by paranormal phenomena. This being doesn't resemble any life form we know, but it does have a somewhat human-like shape. What makes this even spookier is that the Mamu region is known for lots of UFO sightings. Some people even think aliens are in this place because it's so diverse in terms of nature. The Brazilian government was intrigued as well, and even conducted a covert operation called Operation Prado, where they sent the army to investigate the presence of aliens in the region. They kept this operation secret for years until it was finally declassified. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. This chilling image has been making waves across Spanish-speaking online communities recently. At first glance, it appears to depict a monstrous creature lurking near the water's edge in the depths of the Amazon rainforest. Naturally, we dove into the mystery to uncover more about this viral photo. Our research led us to an intriguing Amazonian legend passed down by local tribes. They call the creature Lagoa dracarys, said to be a guardian of sacred waters. According to tribal lore, this mythical beast emerges to protect its domain when the forest is threatened. Descriptions of the Lagoa dracarys include its reptilian features, shimmering white scales, and an aura of mist that cloaks its movements. However, upon closer inspection, it seems likely this image is a digital or artistic representation inspired by the legend rather than actual photographic evidence. Or is it? While some dismiss it as a clever hoax, others speculate there could be truth hidden within the folklore. What do you think? Could the Lagoa dracarys truly exist, or is this just another internet creation? If you have any photos or videos of strange sightings, send them our way, because we love uncovering mysteries like this one. Number 15. The arapaima. Our list of terrifying discoveries in the Amazon jungle wouldn't be complete without the arapaima. It's the biggest freshwater fish with scales on the planet. The largest arapaima ever recorded weighed 440 pounds and measured 15 feet in length. Now that's some serious size. But what's even more fascinating about this fish is its incredible self-defense mechanism. Its body is armored with hard, mineralized scales, which serve as a natural shield against fearsome predators like piranhas. These scales are so remarkable that scientists are even exploring the idea of using them to create bulletproof armor. That's right, this fish is a potential source of inspiration for future protection technology. But the arapaima has yet another astonishing trait. Unlike most fish species, it can actually breathe air. Every 5 to 15 minutes, it needs to come up to the surface to gulp in some fresh air. While this ability is a gift in one way, it can also be a curse. Fishermen find it easier to capture arapaimas due to this behavior. And to top it all off, the arapaima is not only a marvel of nature but also a delicacy. A single fish can yield a considerable amount of tasty flesh, which makes it a sought-after catch among locals. No wonder they're always on the lookout for one of these incredible creatures. Number 14. Bigfoot of the Amazon jungle. Even if you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard of Bigfoot, right? That elusive creature which has been reportedly spotted in the forests of North America? Well, the Amazon jungle has its own version of Bigfoot known as the maroxy. These creatures are described as massive ape-like beings towering up to 12 feet in height. Despite their primitive appearance, they're said to be fairly intelligent, even using bows and arrows and living in villages. One account of the maroxy comes from British explorer Colonel Percy H. Fawcett, who claimed to have encountered them while mapping out the jungles of South America in 1914. According to him, these creatures were incredibly hairy and lived north of a tribe called the Mabi. They communicated with grunts and were highly hostile toward humans. In his book Lost Trails, Lost Cities, Fawcett described a close encounter with the maroxy when they nearly attacked his team. They managed to scare them off by firing their guns into the ground near the creature's feet, causing them to flee in terror. In 1925, Colonel Fawcett and his entire expedition party vanished while searching for a lost city. Theories suggest they may have been killed by local tribes or died of starvation. Some even speculate that the maroxy were responsible for their disappearance, although there's no concrete evidence to support this theory. Number 13. The kandiru fish. Fish come in a wide variety of sizes and shapes, and some of them are on the weirder and more terrifying side of the spectrum. The kandiru is a prime example. This tiny fish calls the waters of the Amazon River home and is notorious for its parasitic tendency. It often lurks at the river's bottom, patiently stalking other fish to satisfy its bloodthirsty appetite. Once the kandiru catches up with its unsuspecting prey, it latches onto its victim and indulges in a blood feast. Shockingly, within just 2 minutes, the kandiru's belly swells with the blood of its victim. Once it's had its fill, it retreats to the riverbed to digest its meal. Now, the terrifying legend of the kandiru fish has spread far and wide, making appearances in tabloids and newspapers around the world. Rumors have circulated for years about this small Amazon fish allegedly attacking local people's genitalia, supposedly attracted by the scent of urine. The most infamous case dates back to 1997, when a Brazilian man and a local doctor claimed that a kandiru fish had leapt out of the water and swam up the man's urethra. However, later research largely debunked these claims, citing that kandirus can't jump out of the water or swim into such a small opening. So is there any truth to these wild stories? Well, scientists are still exploring the mysteries of this peculiar jungle fish to separate fact from fiction. Number 12. Amazonian giant centipede. Centipedes can be really unsettling. Just imagine those countless little legs. They're enough to make your skin crawl. There is, however, a specific kind called the Amazonian giant centipede that takes creepy to a whole new level. This particular centipede, known as the Amazonian giant centipede, can grow up to 12 inches long, which is pretty close to a whole foot. What's even more impressive is that they have a rather voracious appetite. They're known to take down frogs, mice, small snakes, and even birds. It's like a horror movie villain in the insect world. One particularly fascinating observation by scientists involved a centipede hanging from the ceiling of a cave, feasting on a dead bat. It was using some of its legs to cling to the cave ceiling, while the others held onto the bat. In just about 3 hours, the centipede managed to devour about 35% of the bat's body mass. That's some serious determination for a single meal. Thankfully, these critters usually won't bother humans unless they feel threatened. But if you happen to provoke one, you're in for an unforgettable experience. Their venom is no joke. It can cause intense pain, swelling, fever, and fatigue. Number 11. Sanses. During the 18th and 19th centuries, European explorers ventured into South America and came into contact with the cultures responsible for creating shrunken human heads, known as sanses. These shrunken heads fascinated the explorers, leading them to engage in trade with the local Jivaroan tribes to take these heads back home as souvenirs. The historical practice of crafting sanses holds profound symbolic and spiritual significance for the tribes that created them. This tradition originated in the Amazonian rainforest, which spans across northern Peru and eastern Ecuador. The Jivaroan Indians engaged in conflicts over land, resources, and hunting territories, resulting in battles. After defeating their enemies, they would decapitate them and return to their settlements to transform these heads into sanses. This tradition was passed down through generations. While this practice is no longer in vogue, it remains culturally important to the descendants of the Jivaroan Indians, including 4 tribes: the Shuar, Achuar, Wambiza, and Aguaruna. These tribes believed that shrinking the head of a slain individual would allow them to acquire the soul of that person, providing the person with additional power and protection against suffering a similar fate. These sanses were worn around the waist to demonstrate one's prowess in combat. Number 10. Pacu fish. Next on the list, we have the pacu fish, and it's another intriguing inhabitant of the Amazon River. This fish might give you the creeps because of its strangely human-like teeth, but don't worry too much. Pacu is an omnivore and primarily munches on fruits and nuts. Speaking of nuts, there are some wild stories about male swimmers who claim to have had their testicles nibbled by these fish, but those stories could very well be exaggerated or even made up. In the animal kingdom, a rule of thumb is that even seemingly harmless creatures can turn defensive or aggressive when they feel threatened or their environment is disturbed. So it's better to be cautious in the Amazon River. Interestingly, pacu fish are legally owned in the United States. However, these fish can grow as long as 4 feet, and when they outgrow their tanks, some owners end up setting them free in nearby lakes. Number 9. Peanut head bug. Up next is a weird-looking insect known as the peanut head bug. It is one creature that is hard to miss thanks to its unique appearance. Its head looks just like a peanut, but this peanut-shaped head isn't just for show. It's a clever disguise that helps these insects fend off predators in their natural habitat. What's even more intriguing is that peanut-headed bugs have a hidden weapon in their arsenal. They can release a foul-smelling substance as a defense tactic, adding to their crafty survival skills. Beyond that, their wings contain intricate patterns resembling snakes or other menacing predators, which further amplify their ability to scare off threats. Scientists have discovered that their luminous feature isn't just for illumination, but may also serve as a way to communicate with their own kind or confuse nocturnal predators. These bugs are nocturnal themselves, preferring the cover of darkness to forage and pollinate, making them a critical part of nighttime ecosystems. Interestingly, despite their bizarre look and defensive strategies, Peanut-headed bugs are harmless to humans and can even be considered beneficial for farmers. They come in various colors that match their surroundings, making them masters of camouflage, which further helps them avoid being on the menu for other creatures. But that's not all. The peanut-headed bug has another fascinating trick up its sleeve, or rather on its wings. It sports a pair of large fake eyes that give the impression of a bigger and scarier insect, deterring potential threats. If that wasn't cool enough, these bugs even have a luminous feature that helps them light up in the dark. Despite their unusual appearance, peanut-headed bugs have a vital role in their ecosystem. They work as pollinators, helping plants grow and thrive. Number 8. Ancient drawing. South America was the last continent to be colonized by humans. It's believed that our ancestors ventured into this region around 12,000 years ago, right at the end of the last ice age. However, uncovering the history of these early communities has been quite a challenge due to the Amazon's immense biodiversity and its lush, rainy environment. For decades, scientists have struggled to piece together what life was like for these ancient civilizations hidden deep within the jungles. But in 2017, a significant breakthrough occurred. Archaeologists discovered a remarkable 8-mile-long stretch of cave drawings in the depths of the Colombian jungle. These hand-scrawled images are believed to date back to the earliest days of human presence in the rainforest. What's truly fascinating about these drawings is that they depict various animals, including mastodons and giant sloths. They also provide insights into how early humans lived in the area. Biologists are particularly intrigued by the representation of species that are now extinct. With painstaking analysis of each cave painting, they hope to unravel more secrets about the early biodiversity of the rainforest. Number 7. Milton's Titi monkey. Jungles, especially the Amazon, are known for their lush and dense nature, so it's no surprise that new discoveries keep cropping up. Some of these findings have been crucial in understanding the intricate ecosystem and its inhabitants, and one discovery in particular stands out. In 2010, biologists first encountered the fire-tailed Titi monkey in a remote section of the Amazon in southern Brazil. However, back then, they didn't have enough information to classify it. The monkey's striking bright red tails caught their attention, but these creatures were reclusive and few in number. To complicate matters, they spend their entire lives high up in trees, making observation a real challenge. Over the years, researchers returned to the jungle, hoping to gather more information about these mysterious monkeys. By 2015, they started to piece together details about the monkey's characteristics and behavior. Eventually, they officially named it Milton's Titi monkey in honor of Milton Tiago de Mello, a Brazilian primatologist. These monkeys' high-altitude habitats have made it difficult to learn more about them. They are very solitary and elusive, and this has made the process of recording observations quite slow. Wildlife researchers are putting in hard work to uncover more about these tree-dwelling jungle creatures, but their remote habitats continue to pose challenges. As of today, there's still much to discover about these enigmatic inhabitants of the jungle canopy. Number 6. River of Manuku. In central Peru, there is a remote town called Pucallpa, which is located near one of the most intriguing and enigmatic places in the Amazon. This tiny town is situated alongside a scorching river that's believed to be deadly to anything that enters it. This unique waterway, known as the boiling river of Manuku, maintains extremely high temperatures throughout the year. Scientists have recorded its temperature to range from 38 degrees to 93 degrees Celsius. Despite its relatively short length of just 4 miles and a maximum depth of 16 feet, the boiling water can be lethal. Individuals who have accidentally fallen into it have suffered third-degree burns within seconds. Visitors are strongly advised to steer clear to avoid severe injury or even death. Interestingly, the river is considered sacred, and a local shaman safeguards it, claiming its waters have medicinal properties. Conservationists find the river's scalding temperatures fascinating. In 2011, Peruvian geoscientist Andrés Russo journeyed to Pucallpa to study the Manuku. He found that the river's average temperature was around 86 degrees Celsius. While not boiling, Russo observed that the intensely hot waters were fatal to wildlife. However, he couldn't explain why the river was so exceptionally warm, as there was no nearby volcanic activity. To this day, Russo doesn't have a definitive answer for the boiling river's mystery. His best guess is that the river flows above a deep underground sink. As the water descends into the earth, it heats up, and this heat forces the water up through faults and cracks. By the time it reaches the surface, he theorizes, the water remains remarkably hot. Number 5. Victoria Amazonica. Nature has a remarkable way of crafting extraordinary things, and one of its most captivating creations is the giant water lily known as Victoria Amazonica. These water lilies are not only the largest in the Amazon jungle, but also rank among the biggest in the world. Just how big are they, you ask? Well, on average, Victoria Amazonica can grow up to an impressive 8 feet in diameter, with the submerged stalk or peduncle, extending up to 26 feet in length. You could stand on one of these water lilies without sinking into the water below. In fact, there is a record of one of these giants supporting a weight of nearly 500 pounds. What's even more fascinating is the intricate structure of their leaves, which are ribbed and buoyed by air pockets, allowing them to float effortlessly while maintaining their incredible strength. Their edges curve upward, forming a natural barrier that helps prevent water from spilling over and keeps insects like ants from climbing aboard. The water lily's massive size isn't just for show, it's a survival mechanism, giving them a competitive edge in densely vegetated waters by outshading smaller plants. But that's not all. The flowers of Victoria amazonica are equally impressive. They typically reach a diameter of up to 16 inches and come in either white or pink. However, these flowers have a peculiar story. As beautiful as they are, they only bloom for a brief period of 48 to 72 hours, releasing a delightful fragrance on their first night. If you want to witness these magnificent water lilies, you can easily spot them during one of the many Amazon River cruises available. It's an experience that's sure to stay with you for a lifetime. Number 4. The ring-shaped ditches. The Brazilian Amazon landscape is marked by a series of massive ring-shaped ditches. These ancient earthworks predate the very rainforest that now blankets the region. These features bear some similarity to the Nazca lines found in Peru, yet their purpose remains a mystery to this day. They continue to puzzle archaeologists. Various suggestions have been put forth concerning the structures. Some believe they might have been burial grounds or served as a form of defense, but the truth remains elusive. Others speculate that these rings could have been ancient ceremonial sites, perhaps used for rituals or gatherings meant to connect people with the divine. The ditches are intricately designed, suggesting a level of planning and cooperation that points to a highly organized society. There is even a wilder theory floating around. Some suggest these rings could be marks left by UFOs that landed before the forest began to grow. Adding to the mystery is the fact that some of the rings align with celestial patterns, hinting that the ancient builders may have been tracking the stars. One question that lingers is, how did the ancient people create these rings? The answer to this is equally shrouded in uncertainty. There's no concrete evidence that the tools necessary for creating these rings even existed during the time they were built. These ancient structures continue to mystify us, reminding us of the secrets hidden in the heart of the Amazon. Number 3. The halad. In the 1990s, a mystery unfolded in the Brazilian Amazon basin when Jeremy Wade, a TV presenter and biologist, encountered this unusual creature. It resembled a river dolphin but had serrated ridges along its back instead of the usual dorsal fin. Wade first spotted this mysterious animal from about 100 feet away while he was out fishing. When he asked the locals about it, they claimed they had never heard of such a creature and seemed to think he might have had a bit too much to drink. Determined to uncover the truth, he returned to the area the following year and met a man who had seen the animal several weeks prior and referred to it as the halad. During this second expedition, Wade had another encounter with the enigmatic creature and even managed to capture photographs of it. While some suggested that it might have been an Amazon River dolphin accidentally injured by fishing gear or propeller blades, Wade noted that the notches along its back appeared to be evenly spaced. This led him to believe that the dolphin had been intentionally mutilated, possibly by a disgruntled fisherman. Despite multiple sightings, this creature was never thoroughly studied, and its true nature remains a mystery to this day. It's unclear whether it was a one-time anomaly or a unique species distinct from other river dolphins. Number 2. Goliath bird eater. Imagine being terrified of regular house spiders and then coming across an arachnid the size of a puppy. That's the Goliath bird eater for you. It's the heavyweight champion of tarantulas and the largest one in the world. These spiders can reach up to 5 inches in body length and tip the scales at 6 ounces. You can find the Goliath bird eater mostly in the swamps and marshes around the Amazon River. They like to burrow underground and come out at night to hunt for prey. Their diets consist of rodents, lizards, frogs, bats, earthworms, and other small insects. Despite their name, they rarely eat birds, though they are capable of doing so if given the opportunity. When they go hunting, these massive spiders inject neurotoxins into their prey through their long fangs, which act like hypodermic needles. The neurotoxin immobilizes their prey almost instantly, making it easier to consume. But these giants have lousy eyesight. To make up for it, they have developed a unique system using modified leg hairs that are super sensitive to vibrations. This helps them detect danger in their surroundings. Interestingly, their fangs are strong enough to puncture a mouse's skull, which gives you an idea of their power. While they aren't dangerous to humans, they have a peculiar defense mechanism. When approached, they shed prickly hairs that can cause irritation lasting for days. So, you might want to keep your distance from these big, hairy creatures. Number 1. Green anacondas. The Amazon rainforest is home to the world's largest snake, the green anaconda. These snakes are part of the boa family and are non-venomous. They don't need venom to catch their prey because their massive size is more than enough to overpower and kill almost any creature. These snakes can grow up to 30 feet in in length, have a diameter of about 12 inches, and weigh over 550 pounds. Their sheer weight and size allow them to crush the bones of their victims. In one extraordinary case, researchers observed an anaconda successfully subduing and consuming a jaguar, showcasing their dominance as apex predators. They are the kind of snake that constricts their prey to death and then swallows it whole. Green anacondas have a diverse diet that includes mammals like wild pigs, deer, and capybaras, as well as reptiles such as turtles and caimans, and even water birds. Their ability to stay submerged in water for extended periods gives them a stealthy advantage, allowing them to ambush unsuspecting prey. After a meal, they enter a lengthy digestive process that can last for several days or even weeks. Considering the size of the animals they prey on, it's no wonder they need time to digest. While green anacondas are one of the few snakes capable of consuming a human due to their size, such incidents are incredibly rare. So, you're unlikely to be attacked by a green anaconda as you explore the jungle. However, documented attacks have occurred. It's a good idea to stay alert as you journey through the Amazon forest. Which of these discoveries intrigued you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.